When a little girl is found near a beehive crying for help, the truth behind how she got there shakes the entire mansion. And the woman everyone underestimated, the loyal maid, becomes the hero no one expected. Stay with us, and don't forget to subscribe to USA Drama 2.0 for more inspiring stories. The Delvins were known throughout the city not only for their wealth, but for their beautiful home, a mansion where sunlight always seemed to shine through the windows and gardens bloomed all year round. But inside those golden walls lived two very different hearts. One belonged to Matthew Delvin, a respected millionaire investor, a calm and steady man who loved his 6-year-old daughter, Ella, more than anything. He had lost his first wife to an illness years ago, and his daughter was the last living piece of the woman he once adored. The other heart belonged to Clarissa, his new wife. Clarissa was elegant, graceful, always dressed in expensive clothes, but beneath her calm smile lived a quiet frustration. She had married Matthew hoping for a glamorous life, but what she found instead was responsibility, especially the responsibility of raising a child who wasn't hers. And this didn't sit well with her. But in the same house lived someone else, someone whose presence kept warmth alive. Marissa, the maid, a kind, hard-working woman with a heart full of gentleness. She had only worked there for 3 months, but Ella trusted her more deeply than anyone else. For Ella, Marissa wasn't just a maid, she was the friend who braided her hair, listened to her stories, sang her lullabies, and made her feel seen. But to Clarissa, that bond was uncomfortable, because it reminded her that she wasn't truly mother to Ella. And jealousy can quietly build itself into something dangerous. Clarissa tried hard, at least in front of Matthew. She'd place breakfast on the table with a polite smile. She'd compliment Ella's drawings. She'd help brush Ella's hair before school. But every time Ella ran into Marissa's arms instead of hers, every time the little girl said, "Marissa, look what I made," Clarissa's patience thinned. One afternoon, Clarissa entered Ella's playroom and found the little girl laughing with Marissa as they arranged building blocks into a castle. Ella looked up. "Marissa is helping me make Mommy's castle." Clarissa froze. Mommy's castle, the first wife, the ghost she could never compete with. She forced a smile and turned away, but inside her, something tightened like a knot. A knot that would later turn into a terrible decision. One morning, Matthew received a last-minute call for an investment meeting across town. Marissa had the day off and had left only an hour earlier to visit her sister. Clarissa saw an opportunity. Ella was playing outside near the willow tree, chasing her small red ball. Clarissa stood at the patio, arms crossed, watching her with an expression that was difficult to read. The yard was peaceful, birds chirping, sunlight glittering across the grass. And then Clarissa noticed something. A large beehive hanging from the long branch of the willow tree. Clarissa knew the bees weren't aggressive, they were simply working. But she also knew Ella was afraid of them. And jealousy, when mixed with frustration, can cloud judgment. She walked toward Ella slowly. "You like adventures, don't you?" Clarissa said with a soft smile. Ella nodded shyly. "Well, how about a brave girl challenge?" Ella hesitated. Like a superhero challenge?" "Yes," Clarissa replied gently. "I'll tell Daddy you were very brave." The little girl's eyes sparkled with the hope of making her father proud. Clarissa guided her beneath the tree. "Now hold on to that branch," she instructed. Just for a moment, Ella obeyed. Clarissa gently wrapped a loose garden rope around Ella, not tightly, just enough to make her stay still. "Is this part of the challenge?" Ella asked, nervous. "Yes, sweetheart," Clarissa whispered. "Just stay right here, I'll be back." But Clarissa didn't leave for help. She walked toward the house, and paused only once to look back at the child who trusted her. Ella's small red ball rolled past her feet and settled in the grass. She tried reaching for it. That tiny movement brushed against the branch. A few bees fluttered out. Ella froze. "Clarissa," she called, "I don't want to do this game anymore." But Clarissa was already inside the house, peeking through the window, heart racing. More bees buzzed out of the hive. Ella cried out, "Please, somebody help." Her voice echoed across the yard, but the only person who heard it was miles away. Until fate brought her back sooner. Marissa had left her sister's house early. Something had tugged at her heart, a strange worry she couldn't explain. As she entered the mansion gates, she heard a sound that made her freeze. A child's scream, Ella's scream. "Miss Ella," Marissa shouted, dropping her bag and running with all her strength. She reached the yard and saw a sight that nearly stopped her heart. Ella crying under the willow tree, bees flying around her, tied loosely to the branch, terrified but unharmed so far. Marissa sprinted toward her. "It's okay. Baby, I'm here, she said, voice steady but eyes full of fear. She gently untied Ella, shielding her with her own body without disturbing the bees. Hold on to me, Marissa whispered. Ella clung to her neck, sobbing into her shoulder, and Marissa walked carefully, step by slow step, until she reached safety. Only then did Ella burst into tears fully. You came back, the little girl cried. I called you in my heart. Marissa hugged her tightly. I will always come when you call, sweetheart. Matthew arrived home minutes later, confused to find police at his gate and Clarissa arguing with an officer. Marissa stood beside Ella, calming her gently. Matthew rushed forward. What happened, Ella? Are you okay? Ella nodded weakly and pointed at the willow tree. Clarissa told me it was a challenge. She tied me there, and the bees came out. Marissa saved me. Matthew turned slowly toward his wife. Clarissa stuttered. It was just a game. I didn't mean she wasn't in danger. But her voice trembled. The officer spoke. Sir, your daughter was placed in a situation that could have caused serious harm. The maid acted quickly and responsibly. Matthew looked at Clarissa with disappointment deeper than anger. You had one responsibility, he whispered. To protect her. Clarissa opened her mouth to defend herself, but no words came. Because the truth didn't need help to be seen. Clarissa left the mansion that evening quietly. No drama, no shouting, just silence. And in that silence, healing began. Matthew sat beside Marissa and Ella at the kitchen table. Thank you, he said softly. You saved her life today. Marissa lowered her gaze humbly. I just did what anyone with a heart would do, sir. Ella reached for her hand. No, you did what someone who loves me would do. Matthew placed his hand over both of theirs. Your family now, he said. Both of you. Tears welled in Marissa's eyes. Not of sadness, but of belonging. The mansion changed after that day. No more shadows of jealousy. No more cold looks from the dining table. No more fear in Ella's eyes. Instead, there were morning pancakes made by Marissa. There were bedtime stories read by Matthew. There were drawings on the fridge, full of sunshine, bees, and smiling faces. And above all, the mansion finally had one united heart. Ella would often say, Marissa saved me once, but she saves me every day by loving me. And Marissa always replied, you saved me too, sweetheart. Because sometimes, family isn't about blood, it's about love found in the most unexpected moments. Thank you for watching this heart-touching story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to USA Drama 2.0 for more inspiring stories every day.